Well, hello, everybody. It's good to be back, and we are behind schedule, but we're just going to drive on. We're at the first game of the July 4th schedule, which was a Saturday, 1987, and we're at Yankee Stadium for the Texas Rangers taking taking on the New York Yankees. We look at the pitching matchup for today's game. Greg Harris is on the mound for the Rangers, and Dennis Rasmussen will be on the mound for the Yankees. We'll look at Harris later. Right now, focusing on Rasmussen. First of all, before we do that, though, Yankee Stadium, singles are 1-7 both sides. Home runs 9 for lefties, 8 for righties. This is game number 548 overall on the replay. Rasmussen is a +3 hold, but then a -1 from Cerrone makes him a +2 overall. He's got an 8 wild pitch and a 0 balk, and Cerrone has a 9 pass ball rating. Dennis Rasmussen on the 87 season, 9-7, 4.75 ERA, and that's in the real season. In the replay, he is 3-5 with an ERA of 4.48, 98 innings pitched, 88 hits, 30 walks, 70 strikeouts. Good morning, Dan. Yes, you could say that if you wanted to use a Aerosmith, some Aerosmith lyrics. You could definitely say that. Turns out it was not the modem. It was something. It was some, actually some heavy foliage, however you want to call it, out at the power pole where the Xfinity cable originates from. Apparently, there's some heavy vines there that were going around the pole and kind of, for lack of a better term, kind of choking the cable and putting pressure on it, and that's what kept it from getting the good signal. So the Xfinity tech was out there and said, he cleared off what he could, and the rest of it, he says, higher up there could, But this is a pole that I believe the power company installed a couple of years ago. So it's up to them to keep that. I can't get up there. I mean, they got those trucks and get up there and clean that stuff off. But anyway, that's what it was. As soon as he fixed it, and so he cleared stuff out, did a couple tests, it ran like, brand new, and could have streamed last night, but it's really was because he didn't leave till about 2:00, so I was late eating lunch and late and get dinner ready, and it was a storm out there, and I was like, I really don't feel like streaming tonight, so I said I'll pick it up. I will pick it up today, which is what we're doing. So Texas Rangers come to this game 34-43, Yankees 44-36. And don't tell me, as soon as I say I got the internet going now, we get circles in the sand. That's a YouTube thing, because my internet is fine. I am getting everything, all signals on my cell phone that I need. So this has to be a YouTube issue, not a internet issue. So hopefully this thing will clear up soon. Looks like it did clear up. Okay, I saw a couple circles there, but it looks like it may have rebounded all of a sudden. Good morning, Joel. I'm sorry, I just hit my thing there. Morning, Joel, and good morning, Dr. D. Good to see all of you. I think we're back in schedule now. This thing is way out of kilter, though, so let me fix this so I don't have to play the game cat-a-corner. I'd rather play it straight up here. Okay. Now we're set, I do believe. Jerry Brown, the governor, will lead things off for the Texas Rangers. Seeing what they can do to kind of spoil the Yankees' chance to catch up with the Brewers and everybody else in the American League East. Rangers pretty much at the bottom of the West. So they really, they're just playing spoiler at this point. Jerry Brown hitting 270 on the replay, 2 homers, 21 driven inning, at 271 real world. And we're underway, 110 against the lefty, and that's a single, solid single for Jerry Brown. He could get the lead, but again, you got that you got a +2 there, so they might actually get the lead. Let me see if he can obtain a good lead, as he is going to need a 2. Whoops. He's going to need a 2, a 4 through 9. An 11 he's caught. That is a 5, which falls into the 4 through 9. So he will get the good leads, a 15, being held as a 13. But then the +2 is back to a 15. So 1 to 15, he steals it. And he does. So Jerry Brown successfully steals second base. And we'll check out the stolen base numbers for Brown on both the real world and the replay. Jerry Brown on the real 1987 season stole 27 bases, got caught 17 times. This is steal number 25 for him. He's only been caught 9 times. So he's been very active on the base paths. That'll bring up Scott Fletcher, shortstop. Well, that's a 1. So Rasmussen, his wild pitch rating is an 8. No wild pitches blocked by Cerrone. So now Fletcher will bat. Fletcher hitting .308 on the replay, a homer and 42 driven in. He at .287 real world. That is a 5-5, and that's going to be a ballpark blast for Scott Fletcher, but he does have weak power. Let's see, the blast would be a 1 to 8, would turn to a single 2 stars. Anything else, it's a fly to left. And that's a 1. It's going to be a single 2 stars, no home run because he has weak power, but it will bring home Jerry Brown for an RBI for Scott Fletcher, RBI single, his 43rd run batted in of the season. And the Rangers jump off to a quick 1-0 lead. Now, Fletcher's going to look to get the lead. Needs a 2 through 6 or a 10, but an 8 he's caught. That's a 10. He's going to get the good lead. 15, being held as a 13, but then the +2 again makes it a 15. 1 to 15, he steals it. And he does. Stolen base for Scott Fletcher. We'll check out Fletcher's stolen base prowess, both on the real world and on the replay. As they're starting to abuse Cerrone and Rasmussen early on. Fletcher on the real season stole 13 bases, got caught 12 times. He hasn't been doing so well in the replay. He's only stole 1 base, been caught 6 times, but this is his second stolen base, probably because I rolled some 8s on trying to get leads, and it probably led to his caught stealings a lot. But this time he does make it for a stolen base. He's at second base with nobody out. For the heart of the order coming up, Ruben Sierra. Sierra hitting .283 on the replay, 22 homers, 58 driven in. He at .263 real world. That's a 3-8 against the lefty, and that's a single 1 to 2. Anything else, he lines it to short. And that'll be a line out right to Tollison for the first out of the inning. So Sierra is retired. That'll take us to the cleanup man, Pete Incaviglia, left fielder. Incaviglia on the replay hitting .269, 19 homers, 58 driven in. He at .271 real world. 6-5, and that's a ground ball second base C. That will get the runner to third, but now there are 2 outs. And it's going to be all up to Pete O'Brien to get the run home. It is a clutch situation, as they say, for Mr. O'Brien in the clutch against the lefties. He loses a hit 112. That's the only place he loses a hit. And it is a 5-8. And that's a ground ball shortstop X. We're looking at Tollison. He's a 3E22. Of course, I don't have my X charts out in front of me like I should. Where did I put those? I was cleaning up in here, and now I can't figure out where I put my X charts. Isn't that terrible? I'll have to go back and get my old X charts, I guess. I thought I put them over here, but maybe I didn't. You know, look around and figure out what the heck I did with them, because I know I was doing a lot of cleanup in this room to get everything a little more tidy. And I know I set them down somewhere and can't figure out where I set them down. Oh, here they are. They're in the spot. They're in the, I put them in the Barnes & Noble box. That's where I put them. Okay, so now we can get straight. All right, so we're looking at Tollison. He's a 3E22 at short. So let's see here. 3 and a shortstop. He's basically got to get a 5 or higher to make the play. It's a 2. It's going to be a base hit, and that will score the run. Now we're going to check for an error. Tollefson unable to get to that. It's 2-0 Rangers. He's an E22 at short. Has to avoid 6, 15, 17, and 18. And he has managed to do that, but that's going to get through for a base hit. It is 2-0 Rangers. And Lou Piniella can't be all that happy about it. Bringing up the designated hitter, Larry Parrish, longtime Montreal Expo. Parrish on the replay, hitting 261, 12 homers, 37 driven in. He at 268 real world. 6-5. It's ground ball to second, and that will end the inning. But 2 runs for the Rangers as they jump out in front of the Yankees, 2-0. And we go to the bottom of the first, Texas 2, Yankees coming to bat. And on the mound for the Rangers will be Greg Harris. Started in the bullpen, but has now moved to the rotation. Morning, Joe. Greg Harris on the real season, 5-10 with a 486 earned run average. On the real season, that's on the real season. On the replays, 3-3 with a 3.79 ERA, 76 innings pitched, 69 hits, 37 walks, 62 strikeouts. And the first man he'll be facing is Rickey Henderson. Yankees finally have pretty much their whole lineup back in play. You've got Winfield, Mattingly, Randolph, Henderson. The whole gang is there. See what they can do here. Henderson hitting 322 on the replay, 10 homers, 32 driven in. He had 291 real world. He has been injured some, so this at bat right here is at bat number 200 on the replay for him. And he's hit a 1-5, and he's going to have a chance to get a leadoff home run, which is what he did proficiently throughout his career. 1-11 would be a leadoff home run. And it is right on the number. So Rickey Henderson leads off the game with a home run. On his 200th at bat, Rickey Henderson hits home run number 11 on the replay. He had 17 of them real world, and the Yankees are on the board just that quickly. Cuts the lead in half, 2-1. Here's Willie Randolph. He's hitting 270 on the replay, 4 homers, 31 driven in. He at 305 real world. That's a 5-3, and that's a ground ball first base X. Looking at O'Brien, he's a 2 E12. 2-17, he'll get to that. E12 at first base. E12, the errors are 6-9, 15, and 18. 6-9, 15, and 18. And that is going to be a 16. Look at it again, E12. 15 is the error, not 16. So he caught a break. And he will get it and flip to Harris covering for 1 away. 1 down, and that sends up Donnie Baseball. Donnie Mattingly. Mattingly on the replay is hitting 303. 9 homers, 34 driven in. He at 327 real world. 5-3. Fly ball left field X. We're looking at Incaviglia. He's a 4. 4-10 for an outfielder. I think he'd get to it, but who knows? 4-10? No, he does not. 4-10 is actually a single. So that'll be a base hit. We're checking for an error. He's an E16. He's got to avoid 4, 6, 12, 13, and 17. And that is a 10. So there's no error on the play, but it will be a single for Don Mattingly. He's no threat to run, so he won't be going anywhere, despite the +2 hold from Harris. So 1 away for Mr. May, Dave Winfield. Winfield on the replay hitting 264, 19 homers, 53 driven in. Get 275 real world. That's a 2-2, and that's going to be a Lomax plus injury. So adding injury to the insult, apparently, as he lines to third, and they double Mattingly off 5-3 on the line-out double play. Lomax. So it's going to go 5-3. to end the inning. Now a 1-6. He stays in the game. 7 or higher, he's got to come out. So he has to come out. Winfield is injured, and the Yankees will have to bring in a substitute. Let's see who they want to bring in. Is the outfielders they have, pretty much the only guy they have that's really decent in the outfield is Gary Ward. They do have Ron Kittle, but he's more of a DH. So they're bringing Gary Ward to play play right field, rather. Not as good defensively as Winfield by any means. But you got to deal with injuries. You deal with injuries. He goes into right field in the second inning. All right, so we start the top of the second. And it will be leading things off, the catcher, Mike Stanley, followed by Buechele and Brower, bottom third of the order. Before we go any further, though, need to bring in Gary Ward on the computer to take over in right field. The Yankees did add a player to their roster. Guy I don't know that whole lot much about, an infielder named Jeff Moronco. I remember him a little bit playing for Columbus in AAA, but that's about it. Don't remember him much with the Yankees. He is not carded. I think I have his card in my minor leagues. But I'm not going to worry about him until we feel like we're exhausted all the bench and we need him. Otherwise, he'll just sit there in obscurity. So here's Mike Stanley. He's hitting 197 on the replay, 3 homers, 11 driven in. He hit 273 real season. 6-7 against the right-hander. Ground ball shortstop X. That's Tollison. He's a 3. 3 and a 9. I think he's okay with that. Should be. 3 and a 9 is a G3, which is good enough. E22, he's got to avoid 6, 15, 17, and 18. And 14, he barely gets by with it, but he does. Makes the play. 1 away. 1 down, and that will send up Steve Buechele, third baseman. Buechele hitting 226 on the replay, 7 homers, 31 driven in. He hit 237 real world. That's a 6-6. That's a strikeout for Rasmussen, his first. First strikeout of the game for either team, actually. And that'll send up Bob Brower, center fielder. Brower hitting 314 on the replay, 4 homers, 24 driven in. He hit 261 real world. 5-5. That's a ballpark blast for Brower. He's got normal power, 1-8. And this is out of here. 9 or higher, it's just a fly to left. And that's gone. Bob Brower hits his 5th home run of the replay, taking Rasmussen deep. He hit 14 home runs real world in 303 at-bats. This is his 5th home run at bat number 122. 5 homers, 25 runs batted in now for Brower. And the Rangers get that run back and reclaim a 2-run lead. It is now 3-1. Here comes the top of the order and Jerry Brown. 5-7. Ground ball second base X. We're looking at Randolph. He is a 2. 2 and a 7 is good. E17 second base. 6-15, 3 and 18. I think 15 was one of the bad ones. Let's see. Randolph, E17 and a 15. That's a 1 base error on Willie Randolph. 17 with a 15. That's going to be an E4. Keeps the inning going. And now Brown's going to probably look to try to steal and get in the scoring position once again. Get the good lead. Needs a 2 or a 4 through 9. That's a 2. He gets the lead. 15 being held as a 13, but the +2 makes it back to a 15. And this time he's caught stealing. This time Rick Cerrone throws him out, and that's going to end the inning. The home run from Brower is all the Rangers will get. We go to the bottom of the second. It's now Texas 3 and the Yankees 1. Due up for the Yankees will be center fielder Claudell Washington. Washington on the replay, hitting .301, 2 homers, 19 driven in. He at .279 real world. .410, and that's a ground ball third base X. We're looking at Buechele. He's a 2 E15. 2 and a 7. I think he's okay with that. 2 and a 7. Yes, he is. We're checking the error. He's an E15 at third base. So he's got to avoid 13, basically 13 through 18 is what he's got to avoid. And a 6 is no problem whatsoever. So Buechele makes the play. Claudell is out. 1 down. And that'll take us to the designated hitter, the hitman, Mike Easler. Easler on the replay, hitting .276. No homers, 3 driven in. He at .281 real world. 5'6", left-handed. Struck him out. Greg Harris, his first strikeout. 2 up, 2 down. For third baseman Mike Pagliarulo. He's hitting .249 on the replay, 21 homers, 45 driven in. He at .234 real world. .410, and that's going to be another ground ball to Buechele. He's again a 2 E15. 2 and 10 is good. E15, he's got to avoid basically the 13 through 18. That's an 8. That's fine, and that'll take care of it. 3 up and 3 down. Go the Yankees. Go to the third. It's 3-1 Texas. Here on this Saturday, July 4th, 1987 date at Yankee Stadium. Scott Fletcher, your batter. He singled and scored his first time up. Then we get a .410, and that's going to be a fly ball to center. Hauled in out there by Claudell Washington. 1 away. For switch hitting Ruben Sierra. 6'8", switch hitter on a 6'8" is going to be a strikeout. Second strikeout for Rasmussen. And that'll send us to Pete Incaviglia, left fielder. 3-6 against the lefty. He's going to draw a walk. First walk issued by Rasmussen. 2-out walk to Incaviglia. He's going to be looking to run. Don't think of him running much, but he does have the asterisk there, and he's got a good number if he gets the lead. So he needs a 6 to get that good lead. Needs a 6. Doesn't get it, so he'll hold. And that'll bring up Pete O'Brien. 4-4, lefty-lefty. That's an in-home run straight up off of Rasmussen, and he's got normal power. That's gone. Pete O'Brien, a 4-4. We'll show a close-up of it again, just so you can, in case it's not showing up all as well as it should be. 4 and a 4 for Rasmussen against a left-hander is an in-home run straight up, no D20 needed. And Pete O'Brien against left-handers has normal power. O'Brien had 23 home runs in the real season. Let's see how many home runs he's got now in the replay. With this home run, it's home run number 17. And RBIs, 44 and 45. Rangers now lead at 5-1, and the Yankee bullpen might start to stir. Rasmussen just trying to get through this inning, if nothing else. Here's Parrish. 2-8 for Parrish, and that's a strikeout to end the inning. But the damage done, a 2-run home run from Pete O'Brien. And the Rangers lead at 5-1 over the Bronx Bombers. Do it for the Yankees. Bottom portion of the order, Rick Cerrone. And then Tollison and Henderson. Greg Harris given a 5-1 lead to work with. Cerrone on the replay, hitting .259, 3 homers, 17 driven in. He at .243 real world. Good morning, Jeremiah. That's a .311 against the right-hander, and he's a strikeout plus injury for Rick Cerrone. So it's possible he will be injured. Actually, second strikeout for Harris. So we're going to look and see 1 to 7. He's got, or 7 or higher. He's got to come out, and he will. That means Mark Salas will take over behind the plate for the Yankees. So now Salas takes over. He will catch in the 4th inning for the injured Cerrone. Right now, here is Wayne Tollison. Tollison on the replay, hitting .228, 3 homers, 21 driven in. He at .221 real world. That is a 1-4, and that's a ballpark single check. 1 to 7. And that fails, so he will ground it right back to Harris for out number 2. And that's going to send up Ricky. Led off the game with a home run in the bottom of the 1st, but Yankees have been silent since then. 2-6, and Ricky's going to get a base hit. He's going to be looking to run, too, despite the 5-1 score. You know, Ricky's always looking to run. Plus, you got that +2 over here, so that if he gets the lead, it's a 1 to 19. It's pretty much automatic. In fact, the Rangers probably won't even throw down. 6 for 7 to get that lead. 6, he's got it, and he's going to go, and the Rangers aren't even going to throw it because 20 would be the only way to get him out, and they got a T8, so they're just going to let him go. And Ricky steals second base. He got such a big jump that Stanley had no chance. So he's in scoring position for Willie Randolph. It's now a clutch situation for Randolph. In the clutch, he gains a hit 1-3. That's a 3-7, and that's a walk. That'll put runners at first and second. First walk issued by Harris for O-Matic Baseball. So Mattingly has a chance to get the Yankees right back in this game. That is a 2-7, and that's a ground ball to second to end the inning. So nothing doing for the Yankees. We go to the 4th. It's still 5-1 Texas. Seems like the Yankees have just fallen into a rut and they're unable to get out. It's like that lady on TV. I've fallen and I can't get up. They've fallen and they can't get up. Here's Mike Stanley. 4-6, and that's a 1-4 triple. 5 to 20 is a double. That'll be a double for Mike Stanley. And left-hander Pat Clements is loosing in the bullpen for the Yankees. Here's Buechele. That is a 5-7. 5-7, ground ball second base X. Randolph is a 2. And that's a 1. It's going to get through for a base hit. What do you know? 2 and a 1 is going to be a single, but it's only 1 star. So Stanley will only go to third. Check for an error on Randolph. He is an E17. Whoops, I got it held up. Let's try it again. E17 and a 10 is not a problem. So runners at the corners, nobody out for Bob Brower, who homered his first time up. Yankee infield is playing for the double play. They need outs in the worst way. That is a 2-6, and that is a fly ball to center field B ? Possible sacrifice fly. Stanley, however, does not only runs at an 11. Claudell's a -1 arm, so they're just going to hold him there with nobody out. And now only 1 out. They're not going to risk anything. You still got 2 outs to bring home the run. Here's Jerry Brown. He has singled and reached on an error by Randolph. 3-6 against the lefty. That's a walk. That will load the bases. And that is walk number 2 issued by Rasmussen. Bases are loaded with 1 out for Scott Fletcher. Oops, forgot to put this in the computer. Let me fix that. Need to put in that double by Stanley. So Stanley with the double, single from Buechele, the fly to center, and now the walk. Bases loaded, 1 out. Ruben Sierra. Or sorry, Scott Fletcher, rather. Sierra on deck. Infield looking for that double play. 5-3. Ground ball pitcher B. The pitcher is considered in, so they will get the force at the plate. 1-2. Everybody else will move up a base on the fielder's choice. So Fletcher hits it right back to Rasmussen. And they get the lead dog at the plate. So now 2 away, and Ruben Sierra in a clutch situation against lefties. Sierra will lose a hit on 3-4. This could blow the game wide open with a base hit here. 2-6, but he struck him out. Rasmussen toughed it out. Struck him out, gets out of it with no damage. And we go to the bottom of the 4th. Still 5-1 Rangers. Harris back out. Will face Ward, who's taken over for the injured Winfield. And then Washington and Easler. So Ward hitting 208 on the replay, 7 homers, 28 driven in. He hit 248 real world. That is a 5-5, and that's going to be a ground ball to second. Jerry Brown handles it easily, 1 away. 1 down for Claudel Washington. 5-3 lefty. Fly ball left field X. We're looking at Incaviglia. He is a 4. 4 and a 9 is going to drop for a base hit. Now we just need to check on an error. He is an E16, so he's got to avoid 4, 6, 12, 13, and 17. And 9 is okay, but it will be a base hit for Claudel, as Incaviglia does not have a lot of range out there. Claudel is on. He could think about trying to steal and get into scoring position. He's going to try to get that lead. Needs a 6, though. It's the only way he gets the lead. And he doesn't get it, so he'll hold. For Mike Easler. 4-4, and that's a catcher X. We're looking at Stanley. He's a 4. 4 and a 4 for Stanley. 4 and a 4 is a potential wild. Looks like it's going to be a wild pitch, most likely. Let's see here. Error is an E6, so he has to avoid 14 and 18, which he does. But W/G is going to be a wild pitch. So that will advance Washington to second base. As Harris uncorks the wild pitch. Takes the double play out of the equation. Does move Washington into scoring position. For Mr. Easler. 3-9 for Easler is a ground ball to second. So that would have been a double play without the wild pitch. As it is, he grounds out to second baseman Brown, but the runner Washington does take third. 2 outs, runner at third. Clutch situation now for Pagliarulo. In the clutch, he gains a hit, 1-6. And I believe that's it, 1-6. That's a 4-7, and that's going to be a ground ball second base X. Jerry Brown's a 3 E16. 3 and a 15, he'll get to that. E16. Checking for the error on the E16 for a second baseman. He has to avoid basically 15 through 18. Whoop, let's read through that. Can't have a 15 through 18. And that's a 14. Boy, he just barely made that play. But that's all he needed. Barely counts. He played 4 innings, and it's still 5-1 Texas. First game back after a couple days with internet issues. So it's taken me a little bit to get back in the saddle. Pete Incaviglia steps up. This is the fatigue inning for Rasmussen, so we'll keep an eye on that. Incaviglia walked his last time up. 3-3 for Pete, and that's a fly to center. One away. Now take us to O'Brien. He had a big 2-run home run his last time up. 3-9, and this time he lines it to Mattingly. Out number 2. And that'll bring up Larry Parrish. Six, and that's going to be a strikeout. There's a dot there, but he has not reached fatigue as of yet. In fact, he keeps full endurance into the 6th. And we go to the bottom of the 5th. Score still 5-1 Rangers. In the bottom of the order, Mark Salas getting his first at bat for the injured Cerrone. And then it'll be Tollison and Randolph. Salas, let's get his numbers on the replay. Salas is hitting 198, 3 homers, 11 driven in. It's been some time with Minnesota as well. Hit 250 real world. 6-7, and that is a ground ball to shortstop. Fletcher's a 3E26. Good morning, Michael. 3E26. 3-10 should be okay. And it is. G2, that's good enough. E26 at short. He's got to avoid 12, 17, and 18. 12, 17, and 18. And he barely does with a 13, but as I said, barely counts just the same as anything else in this one. So Salas, he had plenty of time to regroup and recover because Salas doesn't run well. And here's Wayne Tollison. 112, and that's a foul out to Stanley. 2 down. Yankee offense has gone kind of into ineptness ever since the leadoff home run from Ricky Henderson accounted for the only run of the game. 4-3, and that's a ground ball shortstop X again. Fletcher one more time. 3-4, though. It's going to get through for a base hit. 3-4 will be a SI1. So single for Ricky. Again, we're checking for the error, but E26 got basically 12, 17, and 18. Those are the numbers to avoid. And he does, but it's going to be a 2-out single for Ricky, and you know Ricky's going to run. Regardless of the score, Ricky's going to try to run. Needs to get the good lead of a 6 or a 7. He gets it. He's going to go 19, being held as a 17, but so they're just actually they're not going to throw down again because they don't want to throw the ball away. So Ricky with his second stolen base of the day. And here comes Willie Randolph, and again, a clutch situation. 4-6, and that's a walk. That's the second time that's happened. Ricky has stolen the base, and then Randolph walks right behind him anyway, which would have gotten him to second without the steal, but just kind of the order of the way things went. And again, Mattingly's in a clutch situation with runners in scoring position to help his team. Last time he grounded to second. 1-8, and this time he gets a solid single to center field. Ricky Henderson's going to score without a throw. Since there are 2 outs, he was going on contact. So 17 makes him a 19 plus 1 is a 20, so that's automatic. Randolph was not being held as a trail runner, so 14 becomes a 15, 2 outs becomes a 17, plus 1's an 18. So he's going to go to third, 1-18, and he's in there. Mattingly, since he runs less than 13, did not take the extra base. But RBI single from Don Mattingly. And going to third on the play is Willie Randolph. And that'll send up Mr. Gary Ward 2 outs, runners on the corners. Clutch situation for Ward. 3-6 for Ward. He's going to ground it to short. Fletcher's got it to take care of it. And at the end of 5 innings of play, it's Texas 5 and the Yankees 2. And now we need to, let's see, it looks like Tim Stoddard is loosing in the Yankee bullpen in case they want to make a move. Rasmussen is scheduled to come out, though. He went 1-2-3 last inning. He's going to face Stanley, Buechele, and Brower, bottom of the order. That's a 4-6, and that's trouble. 1-4 is a triple. 5-20 is a double. That'll be another double for Stanley, his second of the game. And now you wonder how much longer they can go with Rasmussen. Buechele, 4-11, and that's a ground ball first base C. Manually gets it, flips to Rasmussen covering, but Stanley does take third. So that's going to force the infield to come in for the Yankees. And we'll see how they want to play this. Brower is your batter, and I think Pinella's making the move to the bullpen right now. Brower tough against the lefties, so that's going to be it for Rasmussen, and the Yankees will go to the bullpen for Tim Stoddard, right-hander. So we'll go to the bullpen on the computer. Get the numbers on Stoddard. Can't do the numbers on Rasmussen until the end of the inning. Stoddard, look at his card. Close-up inspection of Tim Stoddard. Tim Stoddard, 4-3 with a 3.50 ERA in the real season. 4-3, 3.50. And he also garnered 8 saves during the regular season. On the replay, 6-4 with 1 save and a 3.21 ERA. 56 innings pitched, 47 hits, 14 walks, 54 strikeouts. And he will face center fielder Bob Brower with Stanley at second and 1 out. That's a 2-7, and that is a strikeout. So Stoddard comes in and strikes out Brower. 2 down. Clutch situation now for Jerry Brown. That's a 5-12 left-handed. That's a ballpark blast. He does have weak power, but if successful, it would score Stanley on a single from third, obviously. So as a switch hitter batting left-handed, it's a 1-9. And it's a 6. It's going to be an RBI single for Jerry Brown. That run is charged to Rasmussen. Close the book on him now. And the Rangers get another insurance run. Bump that lead back to 4 runs. It's now 6-2. And Stoddard with a +5 on his hold rating, +4, and then Salas is a plus as well. So Jerry Brown's going to be looking to run. Brown, that's a 1, so he could be a wild pitch on Stoddard. Let's see. Let's check Stoddard's wild pitch rating. Stoddard's wild pitch rating is a 6. So let me see something here real quick. Get away from this for a couple of days and you forget something. So, yeah, wild pitch may occur. Okay, that's what I thought. Okay. So, wild pitch rating on Stoddard is only a 6. But it is a 6, so it will be a wild pitch, and that will send Jerry Brown to second base. He doesn't have to worry about stealing. He just gets the wild pitch induced automatically. Oh, actually, wait a minute. No, what am I talking about? I'm confused here. I thought I was right the first time. One should be a pickoff on Jerry Brown because he was trying for the lead. So we rolled a 6. That was the roll, but his get back number is 11. So he got back. So got a little confused there. Sorry about that. When trying for the lead and you roll a 1, that means it's a chance he's picked off. Where if it's just a regular bat with nobody on base and you roll a 1, or you're not trying for the lead and you roll a 1, it's a wild pitch check. So, like I said, you wait for a couple of days, your mind goes different places. So, anyway, it's not a wild pitch. So, Brown is still at first base. And here's Fletcher. 6-8 for Fletcher, or for Stoddard rather, is another strikeout, and that will end the inning. But the RBI single from Jerry Brown gives the Rangers a 6-2 lead as we head to the bottom of the 6th. This is the fatigue inning for Greg Harris. Keep an eye on him. And Claudell Washington will lead things off for the Yankees. Their offense has been rather anemic as of late. 3-6 for Claudell, and that's a fly to right field. Sierra hauls it in, 1 away. For the hitman, Mike Easler. That is a 1-9 for Easler, and he's going to get a base hit. 1 out single for Easler. He's no threat to run. Brings up Pagliarulo. He's been quiet, a couple of ground outs. 3-8 for Pags, and he's going to ground it to second base A for a Giovanni's Taylor shot. Taylor-made double play, 4-6-3 to end the inning. 4-6-3 double play, Giovanni's Taylor shot in Lemoyne, Pennsylvania. If you're in that area and have tailoring needs, be sure to stop by and see them. Tell them Demo sent you. They'll give you a discount. They are the unofficial sponsor of the channel, but the official sponsor of the Giovanni's Taylor shop. Tailor-made double play of the game. And with that, Greg Harris will carry Endurance into the 7th. So Tim Stoddard starts his second inning of relief, where he faces Ruben Sierra. 2-10 for Sierra, and that's a ballpark blast for Sierra. 1-8, and this one is gone. 18, just a deep fly to right, and Stoddard catches a break. 1 down for Pete O'Brien. I'm sorry, for Incavilla. O'Brien's on deck. 3-4 for Inky, and he grounds it to Tollison at short. 2 down. Now we have Pete O'Brien. 2 for 3, a 2-run home run in the 3rd. 1-7 for O'Brien. He's got to get a single. That's his 3rd hit of the game. And he's bucking for player of the game right now, and he's in good shape right now for player of the game. Here's Larry Parrish. That is a 5-12. That's a ballpark blast. Again, 1-8. And that's, again, another deep fly to left that does not get out of here. So Stoddard catching some good breaks on the D20s. Keeps the Rangers in the ballpark. Survives that inning. Go to the bottom of the 7th inning stretch time. Harris will keep going. This will probably be his last inning. It'll be Salas, Tollison, and Henderson due up. That's a 5-9, and that's going to be a fly to center. Brower makes the play. 1 away. And that will send up Wayne Tollison. 5-8 for Tollison. Switch hitters, a fly to right. 2 down for Ricky. Ricky's got to be a little bit flustered by his teammates. Ricky's holding up his end of the bargain. He's 3 for 3 with a home run and 2 stolen bases and both runs scored. But can't get any help from his mates. 2-10, and that's a ground ball to short to end the inning. So we're gonna tap or cap Harris here at 7 innings. He leads with a 6-2 lead and in good shape to get the victory. Stoddard back out. Pitching the top of the 8th. They'll be facing Stanley, Buechele, and Brower. Your scheduled hitters. Get the numbers here on Greg Harris since he is finished. Go to the computer and make it easier. Go to the box score, get his numbers. He went 7 innings, 7 hits, 2 runs they were earned, 2 walks and 2 strikeouts. And we'll figure out who the relief pitcher is going to be shortly. Right now, Stoddard back out facing Stanley. Morning, Chuck. Stanley 2-5 is a walk. Nice to have solid internet service back. I mean, I watch a lot of things. I don't watch that much on the satellite. I watch more on YouTube and stuff. So not having the internet, we get it for 10 minutes and it pop out for 10 minutes. It would just go back and forth. Very frustrating. I could watch a YouTube video for about 5 minutes, then it would, basically drop off. So it's very frustrating, but happy to have it back. Here is Buechele, 6'10", and that is a ground ball third base X. That is Pagliarulo. He's a 2E20, 2 and a 7, probably a G2, I imagine. Yep, G2, so they get the fielder's choice, assuming there's no error. E20, he's got to avoid 11, 14, and 15, which he does. It's a 5. I'm not even worried about rare plays. I don't think G2 rare play is going to be worth anything even looking at. Yeah, it deflects off the pitcher. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. So it's going to be a fielder's choice, 5-4. And that'll send up Brower, center fielder. Brower homered in the second, gone 0 for 2 since. Five, 6, and that's going to be a strikeout for Stoddard, his third. This is the last inning for Stoddard as well. They will go to somebody else. Might even go to Righetti in the 9th. He hasn't pitched in a couple days, so they might go to Righetti. Well, I believe he might have got to say, I have to double check his usage. Here's Brown. That's a 1-5 for Jerry Brown. He grounds it to Mattingly. And that will end the inning. So nothing doing there. Oh, I forgot to put in Rasmussen's numbers. That was bad. Let me go do that real quick. That way I can do Rasmussen and Stoddard both at one time. Kill 2 birds with 1 stone, as they say. So let's go to the box score. Get those 2 numbers and also figure out who's going to come in and pitch for Texas. Who would be the most likely candidate? Rasmussen, 5 1/3, 8 hits, 6 runs they were earned, 2 walks and 5 strikeouts. Stoddard, 2 2/3, 2 hits, no runs, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. And for Texas, let's go to their bullpen on the computer, see who's got the most rest of all available arms out there. Looks like Jeff Russell is a possibility. So is Paul Kilgus. We're going to go with Kilgus, the lefty. Paul Kilgus, the left-hander. Let's get the numbers on Kilgus, real world. Paul Kilgus, real world. 2-7 with a 4.13 ERA and no saves. On the replay, Kilgus is 2-1 with a 6.19 earned run average, 16 innings pitched, 18 hits, 6 walks, 7 strikeouts. And due up for the Yankees, it'll be Randolph, Mattingly, and Ward to take on Kilgus, who is a -6 on his hole, which makes him -3. Kilgus facing Randolph. 6-6 against the right-hander. That's a fly to right field, 1 away. So 1 down. Make sure we're back in play here. 1 away. And that'll take us to Mr. Donnie Baseball. He has an RBI single in the game. It's actually 2 for 3 with an RBI single. Is Mattingly. Lefty, 6-7. That's a ground ball shortstop X. Fletcher, 3 E26. 3 and 18 is good. E26, you just got to avoid 12, 17, and 18, which he does. So it's a good play for Fletcher. 2 down for Gary Ward. So the Yankees looking like they're going down to yet another defeat to a mediocre team and just totally falling out of the race at this point. 3-3. 3-3 is a fly to right field, and that will end the inning. Seems like they've almost packed up shop here. So we go to the 9th. Still what seemingly looks like a comfortable lead for the Rangers at 6-2. Yankees go to their bullpen. See who got the rest and who needs the rest. Don't want to overwork anybody, obviously. Righetti can use some work, so we're going to bring Righetti in. A non-pressure situation for Righetti. So we'll bring Dave Righetti in. Let him pitch the 9th inning, just for the heck of it. Righetti, 8-6, 3.51 ERA, and 31 saves on the 1987 season. Righetti on the replay is 3-3 with a 3.80 ERA and 18 saves. 45 innings pitched, 42 hits, 14 walks, 31 strikeouts. He'll be facing Fletcher, Sierra, and Incavilla, heart of the order for the Rangers. 6-2, top of the 9th. It's a 4-10 against the right-hander, and that's a fly ball center field X. Claudell Washington is a 3 E5, but a 3 and a 1, just what that's a double, obviously. An E5, I'm making sure there's no error there. E5 and a 13, that could be questionable. E5 and a 13 for a center fielder. Nope, just 16, 17, and 18. So a leadoff double for Scott Fletcher because Claudell couldn't get to it. Righetti kind of looking out at Claudell saying you should have had that one. Claudell says, why don't you just pitch and keep the ball on the ground, let the infielders take care of it, and don't have to worry about my range. All right, here's Sierra. 4-2, and against a right-handed hitter, that's ground ball pitcher B, so the runner Fletcher will hold at second base, 1 away. And now Claudell, once again, looking in at Righetti, said, hey, if you'd done that with Fletcher, you wouldn't be in this situation. So a little dissent in the Yankee clubhouse, apparently, and on the field as well. Here's O'Brien. 6-6, and that's going to be a single to right field. Ward is out there, not Winfield. So Ward, his arm is a 0, whereas Winfield was a -4, but his arm's a 0. So Fletcher, 13, nothing else, a 14. 1-14. 1-14, they're going to send him. They're playing with house money. 1-14, they're sending him. And he's in there. So it's an RBI single from Pete Incavilla. Makes it a 7-2 Ranger lead. And Righetti a little flabbergasted. Here's Pete O'Brien. Probably wondering why Lou Piniella put him out here in the first place. 3-7, and that's a strikeout. Second out of the inning for Larry Parrish. So it could be a little bit of the Bronx Zoo coming around. You thought 77 was a Bronx Zoo. It might be 87 as well. 6-8, and that's going to be a single 1-4, 5-20. He lines out. And that's a line out to Tollison at short. But just to add insult to injury, the Rangers put on another run, lead it 7-2. Righetti's going to go his 1 inning, and he will give up 2 hits and a run, no walks and a strikeout. And Kilgus back out. It's not a save situation, but he's out there just to finish this game out, not use another reliever. And he'll be dealing with Claudell Washington, oddly enough. And Claudell and Righetti did exchange looks in the dugout. See if they, in fact, Lupinella is going to tell Claudell Washington, thanks for the memories, but you're out of here for now. Ron Kittle is going to pinch hit against the lefty Kilgus. So Kittle will pinch hit here in the 9th. If they miraculously tie the game and send it to extra innings, Ricky Henderson would move to center, and Kittle would take over in left field. That's not going to happen, but just stating just for general purpose, but no way that's happening. I might walk from Pittsburgh to Philadelphia if that happens. So Kittle on the replay is hitting .315, 14 homers, 37 driven inning at 277 real world. That's a 1-6, and he struck him out. Kittle out on strikes, and here's the hitman, Mike Easler. .57, lefty. And it's a ground ball, second base X. We're looking at Brown. He's a 3. 3-17, he gets to that. Second base. And E16. And he has to avoid 15 through 18, basically, is what he's got to avoid. And he does just that. 2 quick outs. Last out remaining is Mike Pagliarulo. So Pags is 0 for 3. 5-6, and that's going to be a strikeout. And what a way to end the game for the Yankees. Talk about putting up no struggles at all. 7-2 the final. Kilgus will go 2 innings and retire all 6 he faces. No issues whatsoever. Harris, the winner, he's now 4-3. Rasmussen, the loser, now 3-6. So we go to our box score and get you ready for tomorrow's game. Very lackluster performance by the Yankees. And Steinbrenner might be having some meetings with some upper management. See if they need to do anything to spark this team. Yankees dropped to 44-37. Rangers improved to 35-43. For the Rangers, 7 runs, 12 hits. 7 runs, 12 hits, and no errors. For the Yankees, 2 runs, 7 hits, and 1 error. Of course, winning pitcher Harris, he's now 4-3. Loser Rasmussen, 3-6. And with this loss, and the player of the game is Pete O'Brien. He went 3 for 5 with 3 runs batted in. So Pete O'Brien is the player of the game for the Rangers. I don't think there's a whole lot of debate on that one. For Pete O'Brien, single in the first, homer in the third, single in the 7th, and drove in 3 of the 7 runs. So as we go to the standings, Yankees fall further behind the Brewers. Yankees now 10.5 back of Milwaukee. In fact, they're only a half game in front of the Tigers. If the Tigers beat Seattle, they will be in a third-place tie with the Yankees. But they're 10.5 back of the Brewers, so it's not looking good. We look at the game for tomorrow. Get you set for tomorrow's game, which will be coming to you from Cleveland, Ohio. Chicago White Sox and the Cleveland Indians. Scott Bales against Rich Dotson. That'll be the game tomorrow at roughly 9 o'clock from Municipal Stadium in Cleveland. So that's going to do it from here. Hope you all have a great rest of your day, whatever you have planned. I'm hoping to come back tonight around 9-ish or so and pick back up on the 2025 Colorado Rocky replay, where they have 2 more games remaining at home against the Washington Nationals before taking a trip to Kansas City. So thanks to everybody who was here live, and thanks to all you people that watch later on. It is good to be back. Little rust, but I had that one rule where it got kind of confused on that one on the whether it was a wild pitch or a pickoff, and it took me a second to get my bearings again. But hopefully, like riding a bike, as they say. But if you don't use it, you lose it. That's another saying they have. So, and I agree with both statements. So I'm going to try to keep using it so I don't ever lose it. So until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and we'll see you all down the road.